Alderete, and you are watching for BassPlayersOnly.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Jon Liebman. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com. Today we are here with Juan Alderete. How you doing, Juan?
Hi, how are you?
All right, it's great catching up with you. It's been a while since we've spoken.
Yes.
I know we'll run into each other at NAMM or Bass Player Live or something like that, but it's good to have an opportunity to sit down with you one-on-one and get caught up.
Let's do it.
You were, of course, with Racer X and Paul Gilbert, and you were with Mars Volta for a while, and we covered all that in your first interview on ForBassPlayersOnly.com. It's still there. Go to ForBassPlayersOnly.com, search Juan Alderete, and your homework is to learn how to spell that. But just put that in the search bar, and it'll pop right up. What's happening right now? What have you been up to? You were on the road for quite a while.
I started touring with this group called Deltron 3030 2.5 years ago, and so it was pretty solid touring. And we just wrapped that up a couple months ago, and so I'm doing clinics for earthquaker devices. A lot of those coming up, and then I'm also in a new group. The Deltron 3030 guys have another group, but it's not hip hop. It's a vocalist and everything. So that starts up as soon as I get home. So we're doing 6 or 7 shows to start warming up, and then I think they're gonna do more touring. So yeah, you get it where you can. You know what I mean?
I'm glad to hear that you still have an opportunity to play. A great player like you should play. But I know you have something else that keeps you plenty busy. Yes. And why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. It's my website, pedalsandeffects.com, and I just basically do pedal reviews. It used to be just me doing bass through effects, but now I have a friend of mine, Nick Reinhardt, who's been helping me a lot doing the guitar. We've had guest guitar players, we've had guest bass players. I've had a lot of guys. I've had like Tim LaFay. I had Scott Schreiner from Weezer, Justin Meldal Johnson from, he's a producer, but he's also Beck's bass player, Nine Inch Nails bass player. And I got more guys slated to come through, and so it's going to be more encompassing of like other instruments. So I got Alessandro Cortini, who's a keyboard synthesizer guy for Nine Inch Nails. He's going to come in and help me do some. Joey Karam from The Locust, he's going to do some synth stuff. So it's going to be synths, guitar, everybody who uses effects, really. And so I'm also like throwing drum machines through effects, just inspire kids to just really stretch out sound.
Okay. Well, is it that simple? I take effects and I demo them, or do you go a little deeper and talk about what's under the hood, or how does it work exactly?
It's not really, I don't get too technical with them. What I'm trying to do is just show people like this is inspired sound and get inspired, because there's a million other websites and YouTubes that'll tell you how many milliseconds a delay is or something. I think that's just boring information. Does it sound good? That's what I'm trying to get. Like, yes, look at how awesome this delay sounds. You should get it if you want to be inspired. That's what I'm trying to do.
Do you know offhand, or could you hazard a guess as to how many pedals you've reviewed or profiled on your site?
No, I don't. I couldn't tell you. Probably, I don't know, definitely over 100. But I mean, I have in my studio, I have 400 or 500 pedals. So, I could do this the rest of my life, but it's it's a lot of work. As you know, you got to edit the video, you get the sound up, you got to get the pedals right, you got to make sure the powers are, it's a lot of work, editing, so I wish I could put more resources into it, which I actually am intending on doing. I'm hiring more staff to help me make, knock these videos out and the content get better. Yeah.
Well, you've done a variety of gigs in a variety of styles, but if there is such a thing as a typical gig for you, I don't imagine you'd take 500 or even 100 pedals to a gig. Do you have, a handful that you would always take, the same 3 or 4 or 10 or 2 or 1?
Definitely. A lot of guys who follow me, they know that there's 4 pedals that I really, really almost are always on my pedal bar when I do a rock thing. It's like my Boss compressor. It's a little blue box compressor that they don't make anymore, but it was Boss CS2. I use that. I use my Sovtek fuzz, which is the Russian big muff from a certain era, but mine just sounds awesome. So I use that. The micro synthesizer, electro harmonics, the old vintage ones. I don't use the new ones because I don't think they sound good. The old vintage ones do sound. I use that, and then I usually an octave pedal, like whether it's a meat box, which DoD Digitech makes, or I'll use the Boss OC2. So those are the two, but more low end, fuzz, distortion, cover the whole thing.
Just listening to you now, I get the sense that you don't sugarcoat anything when you do a review. If you like something, you like it, and if you don't like it, am I right that you're not afraid to tell people you don't like it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they know. Like, I'm not out there trying to like really talk. I mean, I don't electroharmonics. I just think that their quality control suspect. So I'll let them know that. Like, I mean, they still make some really interesting things. I think the Pog is an awesome effect, but but your stuff's got to work well, and it's just the quality control. Like, I just had too many of their pedals go down. I just don't mess with them anymore. But like, they should know this. They're making money off kids buying their. They're saving up all their money to buy that one pedal, and it doesn't survive the test of playing. That's not right. And there's other pedal, the Line 6, that green pedal. I love it to death. I still use it, and it just doesn't like traveling. So whenever I come to the Europe or UK, I always use batteries because something happens with the voltage and it shuts down. So, you know what I mean? But like, I'll tell people that, like, yeah, just use batteries with it, because powering it up, you might have a problem. Yeah.
You brought some stuff with you today. I get the sense you always have at least a couple pedals in your pockets, at least, or you never go anywhere without. So what'd you bring today, Juan?
Well, it looks like I brought, that's the Earthquaker Devices demo board. And starting from the top right, it's the Warden compressor, the Dunes, that is an overdrive, the Interstellar Orbiter, which is an awesome filtering device, Sea Machine Chorus, Levitation Reverb, Afterneath, which is an otherworldly reverb, and it goes down to the Terminal Fuzz, which is one of my favorite fuzzes that they make, the Organizer. Then there's a Pitch Bay, which is a pitch transposer, Arpanoid, which is their version of a arpeggiator, Hummingbird, which is a tremolo, the Depths, which is their kind of univibe thing, the Grand Orbiter, which is their phaser. Then I got the Hoof Reaper, which is a fuzz with an Octavia on it, Big Commander, which is it's like a sub-synthy pedal that's just awesome and heavy, super heavy, probably the most low-endy thing they make. Rainbow Machine, which is a crazy modulation device. Dispatch Master, which is a delay and a reverb all in one little compact pedal, which is genius. And then the Disaster Transport Senior, which is not one, not two, but it's two delays and reverb. So it's the one with all the knobs, and it is awesome.
How about the future? Well, you've sure done a lot, and you've really provided a wealth of information for people interested in pedals. What about the future? What else would you like to do?
I'm hoping that my site, goes as I planned. Like, we plan on developing it more, and so it's doing really well right now. And then, I when I was in Mars Volta, I was basically on tour for 10 years, and then I was home for like 6-8 months, and then I joined Deltron 3030, and I was on tour for 2.5 years. So I've been on tour for like essentially almost 13 years, and kind of like this break. I kind of like being at home. I kind of like being at home to make music instead of on tour. Like, you can make music on the road, but it's not the same. When I'm at my studio, it's when I can really do things and break ground. So I'm really looking forward to staying home for a while. Even though I got some touring coming up like this month, it won't be as heavy as I don't expect it to be as heavy.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, you are the pedals guru,
yes,
and you're also a great bass player. And let me ask you this. What would you be if you were not a bass player? Something outside of music.
Oh, outside of music? Oh, I was going to say a drummer, but
that was the answer Ed Friedland gave me.
I think I'd probably be a writer, because I went to school for English literature. I got my degree in English literature, and so, I mean, my wife's an awesome writer. I'm a good creative writer. I just your technique is like anything else. If I stopped playing bass for 5 years, my technique would suck. And same thing with language and writing. If you don't write every day, you lose a lot of your technique. So, but I probably would. I'd go back into writing and and keep that up.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, Juan Alderete, great catching up with you. I think we waited too long because there was too much to catch up on. So let's not wait so long before we do it again.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing, and good luck with the tour. I'm glad it's a shorter, less intense one, and we'll look forward to more great stuff on Pedals and Effects. From Markneukirchen, Germany with Juan Alderete. I'm Jon Liebman. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com.